Hey, how you doing?
Yeah, I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. I gotta say I've seen some of your films. I'm a huge fan, like House in the Alley and a couple others I've seen. But I
Oh,
gotta
thank you.
say, The Requin was really good. I really enjoyed it. It was very tense, very emotional. I thought it was a great film that you did.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you.
So my first,
Have you seen Furie? That was my latest in Netflix.
yes,
I'm
I
just
just
curious.
yeah, that's what I was thinking.
That's
Because I
just very
watched it a
good.
few weeks ago. That was amazing. That was a great movie.
Okay. Thank you.
So, how did the idea for the Requin come about?
Uh, so it came about with my. After Fury, there was a lot of interest for me to work in Hollywood, and there were a few producers that wanted to put a project together for me, and I really didn't have uh, any understanding of what they want or what even can sell, or so I just told them, look, what is selling? And so they go to film markets all the time, and they told me shark movies do a killing out there, no pun intended. But uh, and I said, are you kidding me? I'm not doing anything like Sharknado or anything. They're like, no, just write your own thing, you know. And I didn't really take it any serious to it, and so I wrote a very personal story version of a shark movie, I guess,
Hmm.
and I took inspirations from a boy who got lost from his hut because he was a fisherman that his father his post was to take care of this hut, and he got washed out in the ocean, and he survived for a good, it might have been a month or so, and
Wow.
he had to drink water from the dew from the overnight dew that drips from the curtains that he had, and so I just thought that was such an extraordinary story in Southeast Asia, and where I'm very familiar with the weather because I do a lot of my films there, and
Yeah.
so I wrote it. Actually, the story in first inception, it was actually it was Southeast Asian local movie. It was a Vietnamese couple, actually. It was a younger couple that um, they were getting married, against their parents' will, and but they wanted future, and they just got married anyway, and they went on this vacation. But a lot of financiers in the film market read that version, but they said it kind of make it into an American story.
Yeah.
And so when that happened, I wrote it, the version what you see now, and that got better reception internationally, and a few interest in um, some good producers put it together and sold it, and we were off to the races. And
That's awesome.
but yeah, that's where I got my
That's
first
awesome.
ideas from.
I do gotta say I did recognize one of the producers because I've interviewed him twice. Aaron Bean Coots, awesome guy. Great horror author. You know, he's done some great horror flicks. That's so I've talked to him on occasion, and
Mm-hmm.
but I gotta say what I really liked about the film was Alicia Silverstone's character. She was very flawed. You know, she was scared of the water because of the
Mm-hmm.
incident that happened. This I felt was like probably one of the best performances she ever pulled off, because and that's not easy for someone who comes from like the '90s, former teen star. You know, that's
Right.
it's kind of hard to find that breakout adult role. I think this is going to be hers because she did such a fantastic job on this one.
No, thank you for that because she really wanted people to believe her in this film,
Hmm.
and we talked a lot about that. We talked a lot about how she has to be relatable. She has to be this person who is against all odds. She. I told her that her character can't be perceived as this professional, ready to go kind of character. Yeah, I don't know if you've seen Crawl, which is a fantastic movie. I love
Oh
Alicia,
yeah,
and
that's an
Crawl is a
awesome
great
movie.
movie. But Crawl, she's an Olympic swimmer or something like that, right? Or she's a
Yeah,
good swimmer, at least. And
yeah.
she's very young, and so she can battle a few giant alligators. But the notes that I gave Alicia was like, no, you're a housewife. You're you have to look like you've been through something, and you're in the middle age of your life. You're not prepared for a lot of things, and this is thrown at you, and so she was very receptive to that, and she's a very down to earth person anyway, and she's not your typical celebrity or star that always has to appear to be perfect.
Yeah, exactly.
She's just a very natural, like, open.
She's the anti.
Person.
She's the anti diva. Let's just put it that way, and it's a great thing because
Yeah.
You said it yourself. It makes her more relatable, especially the flashback scene where we see what she went through, and I just felt for her, man. I felt so bad for her throughout the entire film, but when you see the flashback, and then there she is hanging on the rock, like all scared when she sees her husband cut his foot on the coral reef. I was like, oh my god! And just seeing her, I just felt so bad for her.
Yeah, we wanted the audience to really just be with her, right. And that's why I took time in the beginning. Mm-hmm. And it might turn off some audiences, and I hope it doesn't. But that was also my message in Furie is I really want people to like this person, even though she's flawed, even though she's got something that she doesn't want to say or doesn't want to reveal. But you have to be with her, and you have to like her. You have to root for her. And if you don't have that base, everything else that she's going to go through, you just don't care, right?
Right.
When she cracks her head, on the floor, you're like, oh my God, you have that kind of feeling of her losing her child and really wanting to work this marriage out with her husband and being vulnerable and even asking the question, are we going to be okay? It's going to be terrible after this, maybe. I mean, it's very relatable because I don't know if you have a family or you're married, but couples do that. Couples are,
they do go through that.
genuinely very vulnerable.
Yeah, and I gotta say, the tornado, the scene where the tornado starts everything starts striking the hut. That one slow motion shot where she's flying up in the air and it just like hits the ground, boom. I was just like, I had to, as I was watching the screen, I had to literally rewind it twice because I was like, holy crap. Like, that was just so impactful.
Yeah. And we wanted that moment to just pull the rug under the audience. Like, wait a minute, this was going to be all James then.
Yeah.
Because she's dead. She's gone, right? That it's that moment, and I'm always trying to do that with the audience. Is that you put your characters through something, but then you're also putting your audience through this roller coaster ride where you're the entertainer. You have to always surprise the audience, and those are the moments where a lot of our test screenings, they said, "Well, wait, I totally thought it was going to be a James Tupper movie." After that, which it could be a compliment.
It is because you know what? That's what makes a good film. You got to add those little twists in there. Otherwise, you might lose the audience. I mean, there's the audience that likes the popcorn flicks. I'm one of them, but I do like a good film that has like the little twist thrown in, and it makes you keep guessing what's going to happen next. And this one definitely took the cake. I mean,
and I think the moment. Yeah, I think when the moment when you realize James's whole body's ripped apart, and you thought that he was surviving that. That's one of the things that hit an audience really hard too to get. Because it's kind of like, oh, now what? And we wanted that plot. That midpoint of the movie to be that strong, so that she's a different person now. She wasn't that
she was
person who's just
she wasn't vulnerable.
She was different, right?
She wasn't as vulnerable. She realizes what she has to do, and she's willing to do whatever it takes to survive. That's what it is. She went from being this PTSD, like I'm gonna say, she was PTSD stricken because of what she went through, and then she realizes she has to fight for survival. So she has to do whatever it takes to survive.
Sure.
So she did go through that change.
And we remember talking about this with Alicia and everything, and I mean, this is a coarse way to say it, but she wasn't whining anymore. She wasn't whining about her problems. Yeah,
No,
she wasn't, she wasn't like this immediate gravitating to, okay, this is a problem. She was more like, okay, I'm going to accept this, where I'm at. I'm going to accept nature, however.
Let it take its course.
Vulnerable I am, or gruesome, or uncomfortable it is, I'll take it. You
Yep.
know, but I'm still a survivor, and I'll do whatever it takes at the moment to survive. And she'll take a coral to a shark's eye because she feels like she has to. You know, she wasn't going to whine about it or cry about it, right? Or kind of, that's why it was very tricky for her character too, because we had two problems with it. Is she going to be very turn-offish for people, where she's just constantly wailing and saying, the plane's here, or I see that ship, or she's crying and everything. But it came out in the editing where it's like, well, that's okay. You know, she's human. She's not there yet in her arc or her character. She will get there, in the middle of the movie, or when she realizes she's alone. And what are you going to do now? You can't complain about it.
Nope, you just got to fight.
You have to be a different person.
You got to fight. That's what you got to do, and that's what she did. And I got to say, I call it the... I might as well...
You notice that her temperature is different, right? She's kind of like this warrior-like aura.
Especially with that... Especially when she took the motorboat, the little stick with the motorboat stick, and ran into the shark. I'm like... that's like the defining moment for her.
Ridiculous, yes. Yeah, however ridiculous that sequence is, it's meant to be that ridiculous. It is. It's. We were going for the whole. We were going all the way with the genre, the pulp.
Yeah.
Stuff, it's sad, because here's this innocent fisherman in the middle of the ocean who tries to save her. Mm-hmm. But then they try to kill. He tries to kill her, basically, because he's trying to survive this himself.
Yeah.
But I just really want the audience to have a great time during that sequence of the movie.
And I sure hope they do. So finally, what is next for you? Because I like I said, I am such a big fan. I can't wait to see more of your stuff after the Requin. What's next that you can talk about?
That's a good question. So we just had a press release a few months ago. I'm directing The Princess for Disney and Hulu.
Oh, okay.
And The Princess is your it's a Sleeping Beauty, John Wick.
Nice.
It stars Joey King.
Oh, I love her. Yes.
It's a medieval Rapunzel action movie.
Oh my gosh.
Imagine if Rapunzel is John McClane in Die Hard.
That's awesome. Oh my god. Now you piqued my interest. Best combination ever.
So Joey King fights her way down the powers to save her family, and it's in a tutu.
That's awesome. Oh my god, I can't wait to see that. That's gonna be so cool. So the Requin is coming out on January.
It's going to be released this summer.
Oh, nice! Even better. Yes.
I'm in London right now, finishing up post for the film.
Oh, awesome! I'm definitely gonna look out for that for sure. So the Requin's coming out January 28th, and those who want to see Alicia Silverstone in a different light, I'm gonna say this. This is one of her best adult roles, and you all gotta see this. It's more than just a survival film. It's, like I said, she pulls off one of the best performances of her career, in my opinion. And Lee, thank you so much again for taking the time to talk about the movie.
Thank you so much, Albert. Love your enthusiasm. Thank you.
All right, you take care.
Thanks, Albert.
All right, bye-bye.
All right, you